of you have been on a high potential list? A high potential list where the company's been following you to see, where they could put you, how they could develop you. Yeah, great. How many of you have been fired from your jobs? Okay. How many of you have been told you're just not right for the role anymore? You haven't really developed, you haven't really succeeded and reached the goals, and so we're going to ask you to leave the organization. How many of you have been told that in terms of why you've been fired? A few less. And how many of you have had a health scare that has taken you out of the workplace for 3 to 6 months, and you openly talk about this with your company and with other people, other executives, and you would openly talk about it with someone who's going to hire you into a new job? So I want to talk to you about this. Oftentimes we think that our career paths are linear. And we start here and we end up here. And we sometimes hope they are. In reality, our career paths look something like this. Our career paths look like trying to balance life and work. Our career paths, and it gets busier as we go on. Our career paths look like moving to another country, moving to China, bringing our partner and our kids with us, and then finding out that our partner's not happy there and makes our life unhappy. Many of us have had amazing stretch assignments that have helped us grow and become the executives that we are. And many of us have had major drug addictions that interfered with our success as a business leader. Many of us have had what we call the common thing these days is a blood clot that we get in flight, traveling for our client on a 9-hour flight, and it travels to our lungs. And we're lucky because we're just in the hospital for 3 weeks, and we survive. Many of us have a stroke after leaving our job and being CEO of Sara Lee, of PepsiCo. And this is especially pertinent today because she died this morning and had her second stroke, one of the top female leaders in the United States, Brenda Barnes. So I attribute to her. So all of these things, these highs and lows in our life, make up who we are. And guess what? The best learning and the most growth comes from the lows. The saying, no pain, no gain, it's really true. The growth and the gain comes from our lows. And yet so many times we don't talk about the lows. Everything that I talked about with you just now, asking you those questions, I've heard those stories from my clients and my executive clients that I've worked with across global organizations, from Disney to Microsoft to Apple to Pixar to Telefonica to Santander to Ericsson to ING to the list goes on. I worked for 12 years in one of the top executive recruiting firms. And then I transformed my career. I had forced transformations, by the way, and forced transitions too. I was fired from a job. I was one of the youngest to be promoted at Russell Reynolds, and then I was fired later on from a job. And then I had a major health scare that a lot of women are having these days that took me out of the workforce. For about 6 months, I couldn't travel. I had to have treatments every morning. Guess what? Some of my clients fired me. They didn't say that, but they found someone else to replace me on the work I was doing because I was out of commission for 6 months. And then I felt, wow, that's a secret. I guess I can't tell anybody that that happened. And guess what? That's where my best growing happened. I went back to IE Business School and got a master's on positive leadership and the science around positivity and what it really means to find your purpose and how that impacts your level of trust in yourself, your level of engagement, how it improves how you feel. I can't tell you how many clients have come to me in a state of depression, in a state of vulnerability. And I have every single client watch Brené Brown's shame and vulnerability video, man and woman. I say, unless you can talk to me about your vulnerable points, it's not worth talking. because that's where I'm going to find those nuggets of learning, those nuggets of really helping you become who you are and developing your purpose. Because our purpose is not to make money and buy 2 houses. Our purpose is not to have children. Our purpose is not to raise children to be great adults. That's our responsibility because we've chosen to have children. Our purpose is something that's in the core of who you are. It's what gets you out of bed in the morning. It's what you can explain to a 10-year-old that you do it at 27 and you also do it 77. Your purpose is what makes you that spice in the world. And finding your purpose the day you're born and also the day we find out why is incredibly important. I want to challenge all of you in learning and development to think about this. How are you not only helping your companies find their purpose, your clients, but pushing your clients to help their individuals, their talent, their executives find their purpose? Because I would argue that having individual purpose trumps, wins. I don't like that word right now, but wins over a company's purpose. First, it's the individual purpose, helping them discover that, then connect it to the corporate purpose. Take that risk, take that opportunity, because that's what's going to help all of us deal with the new normal of having plan A, B, C, and D, because plan A doesn't work anymore. So take them through a process, a journey. Help them discover their purpose. And I hope that I was able to make you think, kind of push you outside of your comfort zone, because that's what my intention was. My purpose is I bump people outside of their comfort zone because that's where great things happen. Thank you.